Hi, this is Carolyn, and in this 8.5 minute video, I'll be giving you a few suggestions for lifting up and rescuing and celebrating your jelly prints. I keep my jelly prints in 3 folders, one for collage material, one for just casual overprinting so I can pick it up anytime I'm playing, and another for prints I really like that I want to rescue and turn into something else. If you've been following me, you know that my favorite strategy for rescuing my jelly prints is masking and layering. One of the easiest and a very satisfying way of rescuing your jelly plates is to turn them into rock piles. You can just cut some rock shapes out of, I use office folders, but you can use Tyvek or plastic binder folders, or old prints work really well too because they're covered with acrylic. Practice a little bit on the table, figure out some attractive arrangements, and then roll the jelly plate with a paint that is opposite to the value or the darkness, opposite to the darkness of your print that you're trying to rescue. So if you have a dark print, roll light paint, and if you have a light print, roll dark paint. And that way there will be nice contrast, a really attractive composition, and your texture from your print will show up as the rocks. Once you get the hang of that, you'll get all kinds of ideas. You don't have to use high contrast background and foreground. You can bring them closer together. They could even be analogous. Look at the frame. How good does it make this look? There's another one where I used blue with the red. And here I'm using a flower mask. So again, this one has just been cut out of office folders. The original print that I'm trying to rescue there was light, so I chose a dark color. Then I put my mask on top of it, and the mask blocked the brown from passing through to the print, so now I have a white vase of flowers. Did you see how when I was showing you my prints, I put a window over them? That's because a mat makes art look good. That's my second suggestion. I bought a box of mats, window mats. This is mat board. It's quite a nice quality. Online, there's 24 in the box. So the solution is rather automatic and handy because the windows are all 8 by 10, which is the size of my plate. So that's the size of my prints. And then the outside perimeter is, I think, 12 by 14. So the size of a standard frame that people can just buy in art stores. You can see how when I lay the jelly prints down onto the table, they look like nothing special, but as soon as I put the window over them, they start looking really good. Mats say art. You can then also purchase a package of cellophane envelopes, and what you can do is you can tape your print to the top of the back of the mat, then tape a piece of 140-pound cardstock over it, and you can neatly present these prints for gifts or maybe even to sell. I'll just show you a couple more ideas here. You can use any kind of mask, of course, botanical, people shapes, chair shapes, dog shapes. I often use the transfers that didn't turn out as the prints I want to rescue, and they look really sharp rescued with a mask. You'll see in a minute when I take that off. Here's another one, a light print that's not very interesting, and I'm going to use the darker paint, red, and some human masks to make it more interesting. You can see these masks are well used. They get covered with acrylic paint and they will last, oh gosh, maybe a dozen printings. At that point, the acrylic paint gets a bit thick and it slivers off, which isn't necessarily a bad thing either. Sometimes it stays on the print and looks very attractive. Notice I'm holding the corners of the print I'm trying to rescue so that it perfectly aligns with the jelly plate. I don't need any other registration strategies. So that print didn't turn out too well. But when you lift the masks up, you sometimes get a surprise. So I like the look of that, and I'm going to pull it. It's fairly light, so if I put black or dark blue behind it, I may lose it because they're all dark values. So I chose a lighter value, and I chose hot. I think that a turquoise behind there would have looked very nice as well. This turned out to be one of my favorite prints that I made today as I was doing this. And even though I'm doing demos for you, I have no plan. This is all crapshoot. I have no idea when I start what prints I'm going to end up with at the end and how they're going to look. It's just jelly printing. It's so intuitive and call and response and abstract. All your decisions are made in the moment. That's why, for me, it's a good idea to sit down and say, okay, for the next 20 minutes, I'm going to use masks to try to rescue some old prints. And I pull out the masks and use the same ones over and over. You can see again how the window makes it look really good. This one doesn't look like much, but with the window, that lifts it up quite a bit. Interesting. It's okay. And here comes the one that I use the transfer for. I can't reiterate enough how fun it is to rescue the transfer prints with masks. Transferring is so hard to learn and you end up with so many pieces of paper. They're great to rescue. Here's another idea. Using mixed media to fix up the prints. And I know we see a lot of mixed media prints online. The Posca markers and collage are used to turn the prints into different kinds of works of art. I love that. The suggestion I'm giving here, though, is that you can fix the print. So without really altering it, if you're dissatisfied with, say, the amount of white sparkling that's coming through because the paper's textured, or if you're dissatisfied with some of the edges that happened around masks, if you want to push some objects back by cooling them down or create a better reveal, a pencil crayon really, really helps. So I have a box of a million colors of pencil crayons. I can almost always find one for whatever my paint turned out to be. And you just tickle the painted surface with the pencil crayon and build up the color. Another strategy, of course, is to use collage, which is great because you can experiment by placing your pieces in different spots and deciding whether or not you want to glue them down. So I hope you got some inspiration for rescuing your jelly prints. If you like my videos, don't forget to subscribe, and I'd love to see yours. You can post your jelly prints on the Facebook group called Learn Jelly Plate Printing and join our jelly printing community. See you there.